Shalom, giving all praises to Yahweh by Shem Shai by Shem Kakodash. Giving all praises to Yahweh by Shem Shai by Shem Kakodash. Now with Kal Halayim La Yahweh by Shem Shai by Shem Kakodash. Shalom to the hopefully elect out there. And I'm going to entitle this video Any Camp Teaches That, or any camp that teaches that the MOTB is not the charagma, is a stumbling block and a deceiver. When I say is a stumbling block, these camps are stumbling blocks and are deceivers. So, we've been going through this for years since we got on YouTube. And the ones that I can safely say that the members that are part of a Great Millstone GMS, they're not going to buck up against it, because if you do, we're going to get, we're going to get you walking down the road. That's real talk. Let me hear any of you say that, oh, I don't see it. Apostle Tahar, Elder Tahar, whatever, I don't see it. It makes more sense. See, the IUIC makes more sense. Well, guess what? You should join IUIC. You can get you a purple T-shirt. Or ISUPK. Mosai is not dealing with you. Any one of you Jakes that woke up to the fact that you're an Israelite, that you are an Israelite, and you can't see this prophecy, then you're definitely not of the elect. You're just a Jake that knows you're an Israelite. That's about it. Now, it goes even deeper than that, because I said this in a previous video that I did maybe a day or two ago, and I'm going to continue to say it. These guys at these other camps that teach contrary to what we teach concerning the MOTB, they know, because the receipts are stacked 10 miles high. Receipts meaning the evidence for you Edomites out there. Anytime we say, do you got receipts, that means evidence or facts, documentation. And this is a spiritual thing, because they want you to go to the scriptures, and for the scriptures to actually say the MOTB is this and show you a picture of it. And that's not going to happen, because this book is given to a certain segment of people, which are the people that the Most High tapped them in the forehead, in their brain, in their spirit, to see the truth, to see the truth clear, crystal clear, to see the truth clearly. So there's no way in hell these guys could see all these facts and all these receipts and all these this evidence. The documentaries on it every day. Edomites are saying it. Is because they were told, my strong belief is that they were pulled to the side and said, don't teach it that way, teach it this way. And I got the checkbook out. What do you think? What do you think is a good reward for you teaching something contrary to the GMS? And GMS is really the only camp that teaches, and that's going to be known at the end of the day. You got some that scratch your head as to whether it is. I don't know. It might be one day yes, the next day no. And this is why you, Paul Kersey, if you're watching a video, Mosai took it from you. He opened your eyes to the truth concerning the MOTB, and then you play. And then I told you, I said, look, I said, you got to go tell them what's given to you in the dark shall be brought to light. You got to tell them. You got to pull them to the side and say, look, GMS is right, that the MOTB is the charagma, is the fulfillment of Revelation 13 and 16. But then, see, you said, because your spine, you have no backbone, as tall as you are, you be up on here talking shit, and you ain't sleeping right. You getting up 3 in the morning, you can't go back to sleep. You know it's the Most High. Open your eyes, Paul Kersey. You know it's the truth. I asked you a key question. I said, okay, so now that you know it's the truth, when are you going to confront them about it? You came back to me, and I wish I had saved those. We're talking 2.5 years ago. I wish I had saved those. You know, took a screenshot of those back and forth that we had. And you said you said this, and I said, when are you going to confront IUIC about it? And then this was your response. You said Bishop Nate and General Yohana, or you said the IUIC and ISUPK are not ready, and you're not even a part of the ISUPK. So why would you even be concerned about it? Captain Tazariak, the jury's still out on this individual about whether he believes it. Now, he could have been told by the leadership, starting with commanding General Yohana. You gotta put the commanding in there, because that's his whole. We got 3 names. He, with all this controversial with us, the other camps, IUIC, ISBK, General Yohana probably made a statement. Well, he did make it on the video. He said it's not. It's an embargo. It's Christianity. And guess what? That's how IUIC said it. Same way. It's an embargo and it's Christianity and it's corporations and big companies and small companies and big countries and poor countries and rich countries. Which I said, well, that sounds like they got a script. They received a script. I remember a time when we would put, we're going back 2014, even before that, around about 2014 or so, 2013, 2012, we would always do videos on the Charagma, and YT would never mess with it. And now recently, when we come out, and that's why we use the acronym MOTB, because when you say the word, the phrase outright, they'll take your video down all of a sudden, because now they're getting ready to implement it. Now they're getting ready to introduce it to the world. Hey, Biden, he went before. It's right here. Biden brings fear to Americans by soliciting Africa's help to save economy from Russia. Now, I don't know. I haven't seen anything. I haven't seen the speech. I don't know what the back talk is or the responses from African nations. So I don't know how many of them have sold out. You know, like I said, we're living in a geopolitical world, which is global geopolitics, global politics. It's no longer, you know, like America deals with their, you know, economy and no. Now we're living in a global world. But one country gets the whole world eventually gets, and that's the MOTB, pursuant to Revelation 3, verse 10. And that verse right there is simply saying the whole world is going to get that MOTB. That's what it means. And we break it down because the Spirit's dealing with us, for sure. And Farrakhan, and I don't know what priest Al-Azhar was drinking when he made that statement. On another show, my leader. I'm paraphrasing. I'm not saying it word for word, so I don't know what he really meant by that. I don't know what he meant by that. But it was given to me, or I inferred it to me that he follows Farrakhan, and Farrakhan is a real leader of Black people. First of all, we're not Black. Farrakhan, Louis Farrakhan, is nothing but a Baptist preacher that when he starts, and anytime he speeches, he goes to the scriptures. He never goes to the Quran. He might hit about 20 scriptures and might hit a verse from the Quran once, or he'll open up in the name of, you know, Allah, which is Hebrew for power. When our Lord was on the cross, he said Allah. He said Allah, Yah, Allah, Yah. That's another thing you can hit a Christian with. He said, what you ask him, what is the most high, what's the Lord's name? Oh, his name is God. Okay. So when the Lord was on the cross, what name did he call on his father? And they'll say God or this. Then you go to the scripture, Eli, Eli, which in Hebrew, then you take them to the Israelites out there. They said, oh, he's calling for Elijah. So now when you look up the word Elijah, is Allah Yah. The word Allah is in it, which means God. So the translation is, my God, why hast thou forsaken me? Sabachthani, whatever. So it's Allah Yah, why hast thou forsaken me? Allah Yah, my God, why hast thou forsaken me? All right. So you can hit a Christian with that. Let's get back into this. So there's a video that came up, and then I did a video dealing with the same subject a couple of days ago, maybe a month ago. I did another video on it. You know, other men of GMS did videos on the same subject. So this is a recent subject, and I watched part of it. I couldn't even watch the whole thing. I watched maybe, let me see, the part with the Edomite chick that she got 47 charagmas in her. And so that's the point that I watched up to. Let me see where it's at. And Dr. Phil definitely is pushing it. I don't know why, but I believe Dr. Phil is a Jake. I don't know why. Now you can curse me out and say, "Nigga, what's the hell?" Right? Yeah, go ahead. I could be wrong. I just believe that this guy is a Jake wearing an Edomite suit. And like I was watching this video last night, Pink and John Legend, someday we'll all be free. I listened to it back, man, I kept kicking it back for about damn near an hour. And I'm looking at her, and I'm like, if you can't see that that's a Jake, you got problems. If you can't see she's a Jake. From a distance, if they didn't say, you would think that's Keisha Cole. The facial features, the way she moved, the way she, gestured, shook her head and went with the beat, and the way she was hitting them highs and lows. And John Legend was getting down too. He rocked it. I listened to this thing. I kept clicking back to this song, "Someday We'll All Be Free" by Donny Hathaway, the great Donny Hathaway. Okay, but I kept looking at her, and even Jill Scott, she was in the audience and she was actually crying. Is it like a quick a jump cut to the audience, and it goes to Jill Scott, and she was crying. She was kind of shaking her head like she was in church. And but then see, Jake can't see it. Jake's eyes are. You gotta get rid of that. What is it? Your pineal gland. You gotta decalcify it. So on a spiritual level and on a physical level. You can take Go-To Cola. Look that up. Go-To Cola, not a can of cola, but Go-To Cola. That's one thing, and then you change your diet. You change your diet to more of a plant-based diet. Don't eat that garbage, fried foods and all that nonsense. And Jake should get a foot straight in his ass. If you catch a Jake out there drinking a Pepsi or Coke, you should say, "Excuse me, sir, could you turn over, bend over, and kick him square in the ass and take that bottle of Coke from him?" Hey, this goes out to to Al-Azhar. And I said that in videos. I said, Al-Azhar, you need to stop drinking that goddamn Coca-Cola. So the doctor told him, I'm going to get back in the subject. You know me, there's lessons within lessons. This is the dietary part of the lesson. All right? We do lessons on diet, how to eat right to the best of your ability. But like I'm gonna get ready to have me my cachava. What y'all know about cachava? Tell me what you know about cachava. Anyway, that's what you should be drinking on your show. If you're drinking anything, this is to priest Al-Azhar. Here you are drinking Coke, and I did videos on that. I think I even went into your page and said, "Stop drinking that goddamn Coke." What, I don't know, since a year ago. I don't know. I don't remember. I don't know. And just recently he said that the doctor told him stop drinking Coke. So you know what he did? He went to drinking Diet Coke, which is worse than Coke is poison, and Diet Coke is even more poison. When he take the white sugar, the white sugar, refined sugar out, they put in a replacement, which is nothing but chemicals, man. You shouldn't be drinking soda, period, man. That's why your gut be out looking like it does, you know, because it had all that sugar. Not clowning on him, you know, because that's why you make statements like Farrakhan is our leader, drinking all that fucking Coca-Cola. That's just, you might as well snort cocaine. You know what's powder cocaine is more healthier than a bottle of Coca-Cola. Because them Latin tribes down there, when they used to work in the field, they used to take the coca leaf and they used to eat the coca leaf and all that. And it made them potent. So Esau found out about it, made it into powder. So powder of actual cocaine is healthier, believe it or not, than a bottle of Coca-Cola. And the reason why it was called, when you go into the history of Coca-Cola, you know what made it so famous? Because there was Coke in the Coke. That's the original recipe. There was cocaine in the Coke. And the reason why people kept drinking it, because they got addicted. They got addicted to the Coke in the Coke. That's why you have a thing called the FDA, the Food and Drug Administration. That's in the, I can bring it up. We go into law too. You have, 50 titles of the United States Code. Anytime you see Jake gets arrested on RICO charges and shit, guess what they charge him out of? They charging him out of Title 18, the Criminal Code of the United States Code. That's federal law right there. That's federal law right there. Now, the Food and Drug Administration, there's a code. I don't know what code. I can look it up. You know what I'm going to do? Let me do this. Teach you a little bit of law. Okay, and I'll get back in the subject. Please forgive me. You know how we do. Okay, let me go to FDA. See what comes up. FDA. Let's see what comes up. Okay, let me do it this way. U.S. Code. Let's see what comes up. Federal regulations. Okay, let's see what happens. Up, boom. Title 21. Title 18 is a criminal code. Title 26 is the IRS code. You know, when they send you letters out to get taxes from the federal government, the laws that they saying we're going to collect taxes, this, that, and the third, is in Title 26 of the United States Code. This is the code. It's 50 of them, 50 volumes, books, whatever. Go to any law library and they have it. Go to any law library and you have it. Okay, there is established uh, in the Department of Health and Human Services and Food and Drug Administration, hereinafter in this section referred to as the administration. Now it says Health and Human Services. You get like a different, what do you call it, grants and like Section 8 and different things. Like you get federal help, right? Now when they talking about reparations, right? About not quite 250,000 for each Jake. It's going to be in California, but now it's being talked about. It's the same week. Now it's being talked about in New York. So that's going. So other states are going to, because it's coming from the federal government. So they said each former slave will get almost 250,000, which is chump change, man. Which is chump change. But the way they'll time it, I believe, we'll wait and see, is you're going to get it, but you're going to have to get a charagma first in order to get it. It's going to be digital. So they're going to put you back in the slavery. You're going to put your black ass back into slavery. Okay, so here it is. So Health and Human Services, the Food and Drug Administration. There is established in the Department of Health and Human Services, the Food and Drug Administration is headed by the Department of Health and Human Services. Okay, what is the FDA code? Which I already know what it is. The FDA product code is a 7-chapter alphanumeric by numbers, right? Everything is numbered. String composed of 5 compartments: the product industry code, the class code, the subclass code, the process indicator code, and the group code. That didn't tell me what I want. By the way, F, D, and A is Food Drug Administration. Food. Amir told me this. He's a more. He said food. He said it's under the same code because food and drugs are the same thing. Because what do you have in your food? Drugs. Take anything that you buy out at the store and look at the ingredients. You need a magnifying glass and you need a fucking scientific dictionary to understand what these words are. And that's all chemicals. It's drugs. It's frankenfood. That's all you eat is frankenfood, man. That's why there's a big trend of non-GMO, organic, certified organic, which there's drugs in that. That's part of the curses, man. That's why we curse with the botch and the hemorrhoids and all these different diseases and diseases even not written in the book. There's all kinds of diseases thanks to Esau, thanks to this man. Because the foods that you eat is chemicals, man. So you get addicted to food just like you get addicted to drugs. You see somebody super fat, they're addicted to food, but what addicts them? The drugs that's in the food. So coming back to Priest Alazar, the doctor told him, I don't know if it was an Edomite doctor or whatever, you go to the doctor because you ain't feeling right? He was either diagnosed with diabetes or pre-diagnosed. I guarantee you he's diagnosed with pre-diabetes. Most Jakes in America will be diagnosed with pre-diabetes. They'll say, well, cut the sugar and cut this, and don't eat potato chips or whatever, and exercise more or whatever. Pre-diabetic. He was either pre-diabetic or diabetic. And if he's diabetic, they probably, talk to me, priest, talk to me. Come on this video and talk to me. I should have made this live. But what they do is they'll give you a drug, which is synthetic insulin, and the drug of choice is metformin. And metformin fuck you up. You know what? Any with Esau's medicines, right? Which is pharmacia, which goes back to witchcraft. With Esau's medicines, it heals one thing, but it destroys something else. That's why the Most High gave us herbs. All right, and the word quack is a word that the Rockefellers gave to these herbologists. You guys are quacks. No, you're the fucking quack. You're giving people poison. So you're either diagnosed with pre-diabetes or you're diabetic. And if you're diabetic, you're taking, you don't. Hopefully, you don't got to take the needles. Take the pills, which is metformin. Look that up. Look that up. Also, what else could you be diagnosed with? Okay, pre-diabetes, and there was another one. That's the main one. Oh, hypertension. Hypertension. That's why you go off on the road. Look, man, dog, you nigga, you are. That's not you speaking. That's the high blood pressure. Guarantee you. And you can tell me, nope, Tar, you're wrong. I said, and I'll apologize. I'll apologize. Like the song says, I'll apologize for treating you wrong. But I guarantee you, you're diagnosed with two things. Pre-diabetic, diabetic, which is the same thing. Pre-diabetic leads to diabetes. So you can stop it. And you can, doctors say, well, it can't be reversed. Yes, it can. I used to argue all the time with doctors saying that. And then when I explain myself, they say, you know what, you got a point there. Because all they do like IUIC. Doctors get degrees and they administer the patients what they learned in medical school, just like IUIC. They're zombies, you know. And not saying, I believe a lot of them are a part of sincere, but they just into something. Anyway, please forgive me, I'm all over the place. But high blood pressure is another thing. And you got to bring that down by exercising. See, when your stomach is sticking out significantly, you can't see your toes. That's how they say it. That's a problem right there. That's a health problem. That cuts your life down. Could be 15 years, could be 20 years. You know them super fat people, like super fat singers, guarantee you they're like a guy that sung in the 80s, that motherfucker dead. Look what happened to not Ed Lover, but Dr. Dre. He got one leg chopped off. He got a other leg that's black. I mean blackety black. And he's been morbidly obese all his fucking life. He about ready to die. You got to change, man. You got to change. That's a topic for you, Apostle Ryan Blob. You got to change. When you come into this truth, you change. Now, I'm gonna get back into it. Please forgive me. You know me, I jump around to a lot of topics. There's lessons within lessons. Anyway, Farrakhan is nothing but a stumbling block. That's all he is. He's a stumbling block. He was probably set up by the government to have certain people. He's untouchable. You know, he's like the Teflon Don. And you listen to the madness that this guy, especially when he tries to break down a prophetic scripture. I mean, he's worse than the look. Vocab Malone can't break down scriptures better than Farrakhan, man. Now I'm gonna tell you something about Farrakhan. I used to see Farrakhan live in person back when I was like 14, 15 years old at the Armory in the Harlem Armory. If you from Harlem, you know where the Armory is. Every Sunday he used to speak, and I used to be in the front chair. Me and my partner, my best friend, that he's in the spiritual. He done gone on to glory back in 2013. But when we were 14, 15 years old, we knew about the school. We knew about, we were kids. Most I didn't bring us in. But anytime I would pass the school, if I was in Harlem, just hanging out in Harlem, I would say that there goes the Israeli School of Universal Practical Knowledge, not the Israelite school. You got Yohana, he got the thing called the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. He said that's the original school. Nope, the original school was the Israeli School of Universal Practical Knowledge. And if you want to challenge me on that, I got my membership card right in hand's reach. Back in 1985, I got the card, and on the card it says ISUPK Israeli School of Practical Knowledge, not Israelite School of Practical Knowledge. So General Yohana is deceiving y'all. That's nothing but a gimmick. Anyway, let me come back over here because I'm kind of straying away. So watch this video put up by the elder Karatazar, GMS Vegas sit downs 144 GA or GA. Dr. Phil promotes the MOTB on his show. And it was pretty good. You know, it was a pretty good presentation that Dr. Phil did. I didn't get the part where he's with it or not, but there was somebody that said on the show, let me do this. Bear with me for a minute. Okay, this is it right here. All right, let me do this. Okay, here it is. Okay, that. Bear with me for a minute. I mean, it's only what? It's the original is 14 minutes, 15 minutes. You got to watch the original, which the elder put it right here. He usually got more. You got to subscribe to him. He gives a lot of good, very good videos. But you know what I noticed? Now let me do this. Oh, and these guys here. I was watching the last video. Esau is not the white man no more. We eat it. We get Edomites. This guy, one body in Yahushai. I mean, these dudes said. I mean, they went from the frying pan to the damn fire. They jumped in the damn volcano while it was erupting. These niggas, gone is not a good enough word. I mean, these niggas are gone. These are gone. They're comic relief. You got to watch this video. Subscribe to Holy Bible Defenders, which, by the way, he's Elder Karatazar Ba, the second Karatazar. So now let's come over here. Damn commercial. Let me do this. Bear me for a minute. Okay, as you can see, let me open this up. A man implants chip in hand to unlock and start his Tesla microchip implants that let you pay by yourself with your hand. Remember, Bishop Nate said, you can't buy or sell. Or maybe he can go buy some land for you. You can't buy or sell. It's a RFID. It's it's to find locations. Where is my dog? Well, microchip implants that let you pay with your hand. Also, your medical records. Also, you can open up a car, start a car with the implant in you. You can open up your house. All that. Here it is. Now, Phil, I didn't watch the whole video, so Phil doesn't. I don't believe he mentions Revelation, although Lionel did on a previous video that I did. But this is what I noticed. And then I'm going to get into the precepts. I'm going to watch this. Go Black to Africa. A brother from the States and moved to Africa. He does a lot of good videos. So this is new, right? This was just put up. It said many people laughed at his condescending remarks of white people, but is he correct? So I gotta definitely watch this. I subscribe to him. He had an interview with he had interviewed the great and powerful Bishop Nathaniel. I'm bugging. So this is what I noticed, right? It says, I got chipped. Are we ready for technology under our skin? Dr. Phil. Not even 15 minutes long. So you can watch, I would like you to watch, it behooves you to watch both videos. The video that the elder put up and then this video. And he was kind enough to give you the link. Okay, so now what I was checking out was the comments over here. Okay, well this is YD Mr. Burns. No amount of money would ever get me to chip myself like this. Absolutely insane. Let me check out the replies. I'm sorry. I would never trust the government that much. Donna. And see, a lot of these people, they may look like Edomites, but a lot of them is Jake because this is a spiritual thing. No way. That is the M to the O to the T to the B. Even if it makes you say, excellent, mark of it. Look at this. Why can these people see it? Whether they're Edomites or Jake that look like Edomites or whatever, average run of the mill people. Why can they see it in the IUIC and ISUPK? Why can't they see it? Well, I told you why they can't see it. They refuse to see it because they got that bag. Oh, hit chick. Now she might be a Jake. Yes, I'm glad others see it. See what? They can see what the ISUPK and IUIC can't see. And you members of the ISUPK and IUIC and ISUPK, you better start doing some window shopping. You better start looking in the window of the Great Millstone because there's going to be a big shakeup. Let me see. Let me look at some of these. So some of them did say it. Okay, look at this. Eternal perspective. You sound like a Christian. This could potentially lead to the M to the O to the T to the B. The children of this world are wiser in their generation than the children of light. IUIC, ISUBK, the members are children of light, but their spiritual pineal gland is calcified on a spiritual level. Can you imagine having to call someone to unlock your house and say, my M chip is not working. My husband is AIT, and even though we have set up our house to open with a push of a button, but he still tells me to have my keys because technology is not 100%. And he's a technical guy. What is that? Shiny Evie, if I'm saying it right. Putting chips in your body is one of the most stupidest ideas I've ever heard of. If I want to do pay for things, if I want to do pay for things, I'm using an actual credit card. Well, what's in the credit card? The chip, right? But they're gonna put it in you, card. And if I want to unlock a door to a hotel room, I'm using a key card. They're gonna put the key card in your like if you go to hotels when you got it, they'll program your chip in order to open up that particular door. They can do that. No way in no way in no way in I will I will I'll put my I'll put any of that shit in my body. So a lot of these I believe are jakes. Here you see, not too many people are equating this to the MOTB. So the average person doesn't know because they don't understand the scriptures. A vocab Malone doesn't know, but he's considering it because he follows GMS. He's a secret. Vocab Malone is a secret disciple of GMS. Not for me, ever, not for me, ever, ever. I can't see it now. Mom, Granny got hacked again. I can see it now. Bob, Granny got hacked again. Over my dead body. Seems like I've been having to say that more and more lately. You don't have to wonder why. Look around. This is a good one. Why not just use a fingerprint or face detection door lock? Well, that wouldn't be the fulfillment of the prophecies. That's why. But you can see these people don't understand the scriptures. The experts on the prophetic part of the scriptures is are the men that came out of One West, but especially the men of Great Millstone, starting from the apostles on down. Now I'm the one that pushed the MOTB first. Then you got the apostles. Then you got the bishops. When it was when I presented it to them, they just saw it. Okay, so I don't know if they're just following me to be following me because they're part of the same clique, or they see it. But now, if Bishop Nate said I had a dream, but he doesn't mention GMS. He just said I had a dream, and he doesn't mention us. Because it's not in his nature to give anybody credit. He likes to get all the credit. He wants to be the big cheese. He'll say I had a dream. He'll go into he'll open up the scriptures like we never went through this. Look, let's go to the scriptures. Let's go to Revelation. Let's break it down right. Okay. Then he'll ask a question, and somebody will answer. He'll say, "Very good, very good, very good." Then he'll read it, and he'll get all dramatic. He'll put up a couple of pictures and videos, and then he'll say, "This is talking about the MOTB." He won't even say that. He won't even say that because we'll jump on him, and he'll teach it like he's like the Spirit came to him, and they don't see nothing. They're not going to say, "Well, wait a minute, GMS is teach," because they are zombies, man. They're zombies. You got a lot of zombies in Israel. That's another topic for Apostle Arimlab. You got a lot of zombies in Israel. Now I remember at One West, all the motherfuckers in One West, they were all zombies. They're all back in the world, getting ready to line up to get a charagma. It says, I have complete trust and faith that my MOTB will be used ethically by government and corporations. Sign me up. He's being obnoxious, no doubt. Sarcastic. One of this. No, let me see. Over my dead body, and that's what it'll take. Now, this person looks like the avatar looks like an Edomite, but she could be a Jake. And I was watching a video with this is about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. The priest, high priest, whatever, Alizar had his actual brother on, his paternal brother on. This dude looked like a straight up Edomite. I mean, he looked like either an Italian or like an Irishman with black hair. He looked like a straight up Edomite. He looked more like an Edomite than Alizar. I mean, he looked like a straight up Edomite. Yo, what is that white boy doing on Alizar's show? And that was his actual brother from his father. His father's dark skin. Alizar's father, I forget his name, but he was a top DJ, so he's a celebrity, you know. And and they're talking about, you know, different. His father, his brother, mother is an Edomite. You know, Alizar's father was the Edomites, and then he was an older brother, but he looked like a straight up Edomite. But guess what? That's a Haitian. You go up and say, I'm a Haitian. You say, you ain't no Haitian. You ain't no Haitian. So you're going to have people that look straight up like Edomites that are actually Jake. I go back and watch the video that I mentioned early. Someday we'll all be free, Pink, and please watch that, man. Pink and what's this guy? What the hell is his name? John Legend. Do that, and you can clearly see that's a Jake. Pink is a Jake, and I even put a comment in there. I said Pink is Black Irish. Do they pay for the OR operation, or the guinea pigs for the MOTB? I mean, I don't got to read anymore. You can go back and read them. So now, and they're gonna turn it up. Esau gonna turn it up come 2023. Gonna be a lot of changes out there. Okay, where am I at? All right, let me go to some precepts. I made it easy for myself. I put in the word stumbling block because Farrakhan is a stumbling block. That's all he is. Whether he accepts it or not, he knows about the Israelites. He really doesn't say nothing about the Israelites. Somebody should ask him about his thoughts on the Israelites and how they're growing. But like I said, and I can't prove it. You know, either he's just a lost soul or he's set up. He's set up, man. But you know, whether he's just lost or whether he was set up, he's still a stumbling block. All those people that follow, that are part of the NOI and Nation of Islam, all those people that follow him, now I believe he's going to lead them to take the Quran. Just like he tried to get them to follow Dianetics, and Jake and the so-called black community, they got on his ass, man. So he had to pull it back somewhat. But I believe, but we'll see. Only time will tell when they actually make it manifested, when they set up those chipping stations. I'm going to see what he's going to say. I'm going to see what he's going to say. Now, is he going to come out and say, don't take it because it's fulfillment of Revelation 13, or go ahead and take it? There's nothing wrong with that. We already know. We're finding out who the coons are in society. Shaq is a coon. Charles Barkley is a coon. Deion Sanders is half a coon. Who else? Jason Whitlock is half a coon. And the list goes on and on with these coons. All y'all, first of all of y'all that are multi-millionaires, you all done sold out. You all didn't took a part of that. You partook in that ritual, including including Floyd Money Mayweather. He sold out. Okay, he sold out. You ain't gonna get that type of money if you didn't sell your soul to the devil. It says, let's just go down the line. Stumbling block is written, is mentioned 12 times in 12 verses. Like I said, I made it easy for myself. It says Leviticus 19, verse 14, thou shalt not curse the deaf, nor put a stumbling block before the blind, but shalt fear thy power. I am the Lord. Do you know what that means? Now, IUIC, they'll tell you to keep the laws, but they'll go against certain laws. Like I was watching a video of a Gazak, Elder Gazak out of Mississippi, originally from Chi-Town. His brother's still in Chi-Town, but he's in Mississippi. And he did a video concerning the encounter that he had in Jackson with the IUIC. But he said there was a lot of cool guys, sincere, humble, sincere brothers in the IUIC. But then some of them, he said the first group that he encountered, they were humble and cool with him. But the last group, or the second group that he encountered with the dude that looked a little like R. Kelly, the boisterous dude, he's up there, he cursed the guy out. He said, "Hey, you GMS, you a child, you molest children, you motherfucker, you molest children. How could you be a man of the Lord?" Well, guess what? He put a stumbling block before them people when he said that, because that's in the law. You had a thing called arranged marriages. A lot of times when a father gave his daughter to another man, she didn't like that man because she liked the boy down the street. But her father wasn't with it. No, he ain't about that. You're gonna marry this guy. And this guy she could be 12 years old, 11, 12 years old, 13 years old, and this guy could be in his 40s, and I don't want to be with him. I don't want to be with that old motherfucker. But guess what? You gotta do what your father tell you to do. Jacob received Leah and Rachel, whether they liked it or not, whether Leah or Rachel liked it or not. If they didn't like it, they were gonna get raped. All right. Oh, and another thing, here's for your women's rights. Leah and Rachel had two handmaids, their personal women slaves, and they would say, "Okay, go ahead and lay with that nigga. Go ahead and lay with that nigga. So whatever you get pregnant, them are my babies." That's how it was. They show you that in a movie called The Handmaid's Tale. Watch that. Watch the original movie, The Handmaid's Tale. Watch the original movie and come back and see me. So this is what they're guilty of. If you're not dealing with all the law, then you are a stumbling block. Farrakhan, the Nation of Islam, is a major stumbling block. These churches are major stumbling blocks, and they're all going to be destroyed. Isaiah, I'm going to try to read all these. Isaiah 57:14, and shall say, cast ye up, prepare the way. What is this talking about? Ultimately, it's talking about John, but it's talking about us. And this goes hand in hand with 2 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 4. Because what are we knocking down? We're knocking down strongholds, which are ideas in your mind. That's why to this day, when was the last time you saw a movie? Remember when, as a kid, before Easter, the night before Easter, you got your hair blue. Man, I remember when I had my hair blew out. That was Easter Eve. You go to I had these friends, and their mama would get the hot comb. Go ahead, boy, give me the hot comb. Give me the hot comb. But you have it on the stove, and your hair would be maybe 2 inches, like a mini fro, And after she put that straightening comb, that hot comb on there, you look, remember the Jackson 5 when they had them big fros? I had that same fro, man. And I remember we would wear this hat, a woolen hat, but it was like a drill sergeant hat. But we would have it on the hair. That's our hair was so puffed up. We had it on the hair, tipped to the side. You know? Hey, brother, that's when them young little cuties used to look at you, man. Oh, you looking good. You looking good today. Go to church, and we would go to church just for the girls. That's the only reason why we went to church, just to get them little girls, when we were 10, 11 years old. Oh, give you a little story. Now, recently, Irene Cara had passed, right? She's from the Bronx. That's when I used to live in the Bronx. There was a movie theater called the Art Jerome. I met her in a movie theater. She was 11, I was 10. And she had a little girlfriends with her, and I had my little friends, and we were playing like truth or dare. And so we said, are you going to kiss me or not? And so it was me and her, and we kissed. So that's my story. So I knew Irene Cara. I knew her, I knew her. And we were little, she was like a little frisky thing at 11. And I was little, I was a dirty young boy, but I remember that. So there you go. So she's in the spiritual realm, and the Lord saved see that little boy in the theater that you kissed. That's one of my men. You know what I'm saying? I'm just having fun with this. And Shell, this is my style, brother. Isaiah 57 verse 14, and shall say, cast ye up, prepare the way, take up the stumbling block out of the way of my people. So when we get on IUIC, they get mad. You get Asaph. Keep the bishop's name out your mouth. Well, guess what? We're going to keep saying his name because he's a stumbling block. He's a stumbling block. Unless he gets, you think we're going to get on him if he's teaching the right thing? If he's teaching the same thing that we teach, you think we're going to talk bad about him? He's going off. IUIC is going off. ICBK going off. Oh, look, we didn't get on Captain Zarak for a while. He did that. He made a statement on Hassan Campbell's show. He made Hassan. We praise Hassan Campbell for what he said. I call that out of the mouth of babes. And then that really messed up Captain Tazariak because he didn't want to deal with it. He didn't want to deal with it, man. And then he came with his bullshit, so we jumped on his ass, man. Have we got on Captain? Well, we got on him again because he basically spiritually kissing Ye's ass. Ye said, see, we don't even have a flag. It's black people. And then Captain Zari said, yeah, that's heavy. It ain't fucking heavy. It ain't heavy. You can make a flag called the black man flag. Black flag is for the black man. Whatever the fuck that is. We're a nation, not a color. What is this? Ezra 3 verse 20. I'm sorry, Ezekiel 3 verse 20. You can really start at 18. It says again, when a righteous man doeth turn from his righteousness and commit iniquity, and I lay a stumbling block before him, he shall die, because thou hast not given him warning. He shall die in his sins, and his righteousness which he have done shall not be remembered, but his blood will I require at thine hand. So we get on them guys, so the blood is off our hands. Not going to read all of these. Let's see what Ezekiel 14:3 says. Son of man, these men have set up their idols in their heart and put the stumbling block of their iniquity before their face. Should I be inquired of at all by them? The scriptures also say, let every man be fully persuaded in his own mind, right? You follow IUIC, you're fully persuaded in your own mind that the leadership of IUIC has 100% truth. So if they deceive you, you're going to fall by that deception. So we're in the New Testament now, and I'll get ready to close. Romans 11, verse 9. See, sometimes you don't got to do a lot of work. All you got to do is take one key word. And I had some other words that I was going to go, other precepts I was going to go into, but I don't have to. I picked one word, and I said, let me see how many times this word comes up in the word search in Blue Letter. And these are all the scriptures I need. The key word here is stumbling block. Romans 11, verse 9, and David saith, let their table be made a snare and a trap and a stumbling block and a recompense unto them. Let me click on this. You really got to read this whole, this is a powerful chapter right here. I'll start at 7. Romans 11 and 7. By the way, Israel is not cast away. Talking about national Israel. I say then, have the Most High cast away his people, which are the Israelites, not the church that vocab speaks about. The Most High forbid, for I am an Israelite of the seed of Abraham of the tribe of Benjamin. The Most High have not cast away his people, which he foreknew what ye know, what the scripture saith of Elijah, how he maketh intercession to the Most High against Israel, saying, Lord, they have killed thy prophet. So this is all talking about national Israel. Anytime you come across the word Israel or the tribes in the New Testament, it's talking about national Israel. So let me jump down to 7. What then? Israel have not obtained that which he seeketh for, but the election hath obtained it. What are the Israelites seeking for? They're seeking for truth, and they can't find it. And their truth is the black Kemetic community, or the Baptist church, or the Methodist church, or Roman Catholicism, or making money, or politics. They're looking for truth, the answer to life, right? Well, the answer to the life, the reason why you was put here for is to be an Israelite, because you were an Israelite in the past. And you always going to be an Israelite, but you have to acknowledge the fact that you're an Israelite. It says, but the election, and Apostle Gabar always says this. He says it more than me. I say it a lot too. The Most High is only dealing with the elect. I say that enough too, but guess what? Apostle Gabar is a heavyweight champion when it comes to the subject of the elect. It said, but the elect hath obtained it, and the rest of who? The rest of who? The rest of Israel. And the rest were blinded. That's why they're all up in this consciousness thing. That's why they're still in the church. You got this guy, Elder Mike. He's down. He rolled up on IUIC school in Detroit, I believe it was. And he asked him, who's the king? Who's the king in Deuteronomy 28:36? He knows the scriptures very well, but guess what? He ain't awake because he's not a part of the elect. And if he don't awake, he's going to be destroyed. Straight up and down. 8th verse, according as it is written, the Most High have given them the spirit of slumber, eyes that they should not see, and ears that they should not hear. Unto what? Unto this day. What's today? It's the 16th of December, 2022, the year of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, turning up. And he's going to really turn up. I see him really turning up in 2023. I beheld Satan cast as lightning to the earth. I'm merely paraphrasing. And David saith, let their table be a snare. When they try to break things down, they're going to get the Most High is going to give them a spirit of confusion, and a trap and a stumbling block and a recompense unto them. Let their eyes be darkened that they may not see and bow down their back always. Let's come back over here. Almost finished. Oh, you know what? Let me do this. 2 Peter, because this came to mind. 3. Started. I'll go right to 16, right to the point. 2 Peter 3, verse 16. As also in all epistles or letters. Right now, when we do these videos, they're video epistles, speaking in them of these things, in which are some things hard to be understood, which they that are unlearned and unstable wrestle as they do also the other scriptures unto their what? Unto their own destruction. So if you sincerely break down the scriptures wrong, you're going to be destroyed for it. You're going to be destroyed for it. 17 verse. Yeah, ye or yea, therefore, beloved, seeing ye know these things before, beware lest ye also, being led away with the error of the wicked, fall from your own steadfastness. Guys fell off. Excuse me. Excuse me for that. It says steadfastness meaning the work. This is the time. Well, it's been the time, man. Since we were on YouTube back in 07, July of 07. Before that, when you get this truth, you're supposed to be on fire and stay on fire. And that goes hand in hand with the word steadfastness. You guys that are not steadfast, the Most High going to spew you out of his mouth. That's why so many of these Israelite brothers and sisters, mainly brothers, are back in the world getting ready to eat. They're going to take the charagma and they're going to eat a missile. Let's look up the word steadfastness. Steadfast, stay rigmas, or stay rigmus. Stay rigmas. Firm condition, steadfastness of the mind, that you be fully persuaded in your mind. That's why the Most High, in Ephesians 4, 11 verse on down, said the Most High set up apostles. He didn't set up bishops. Bishops and deacons just run churches. That's all they do. They make sure the church is in order. Apostles, prophets. The Most High is dealing with apostles, prophets, teachers, evangelists, not bishops and not deacons. They just deal with the church. They shouldn't be out there on the highways and the byways. They should be like them Roman Catholics. Most High is only dealing with 4 kinds: apostles, prophets, teachers, and evangelists. 4 kinds. Bishop ain't in that. Okay? You can't be a prophet and a bishop at the same time. Just come on back. Almost finished. I'm sorry. Let me do this. Okay. 18th verse. But grow in grace. If you in this thing for a week, 2 weeks, a month, a month later, you should know a lot more than you did when the first week you came in. If you're in this thing for 6 months to a year, you should be a teacher. You should be a teacher. You should be able to deal with any situation out there that comes to you. And there might be a scholar that might hit you with this. That's why you got to constantly, keep the script. The saying is, keep that same energy. Keep that same energy. When you're in this thing for 5 years, you know everything. You know everything. It says, but grow in grace and in the knowledge of our Lord Yahweh Shai, Savior, Yahweh Shai, the Messiah. To him be glory both now and forever. So I say, so be it. The word is amen. I say, so be it. Now, these Old Testament only Israelites, they're on a low level. They're on a low level. They don't know. They don't understand anything. They don't even understand the Old Testament. To prove that, ask them about anything about the prophecies in the Old Testament. They don't know. They don't know. Okay, so Romans 14, verse 13. Let us not therefore judge one another anymore, but judges rather that no man put a stumbling block or an occasion to fall in his brother's way. This is why we get on IUIC, because they place stumbling blocks in front of people. Let's see what 1 Corinthians 1, verse 23 says. And this is a great chapter right here. I mean, you can do a lesson on this chapter alone. The book of Corinthians, all the books of Paul, a lot of information in it. But we preach Yahweh Shai crucified unto the Jews, a stumbling block, and unto the Greeks, foolishness. Now, those Greeks are talking about Israelites that in a Gentile state of mind. But we preach the Messiah crucified unto the Jews, a stumbling block, because you had the Israelites that didn't accept that was the Messiah. So yeah, he died. He wasn't the Messiah, because if he was the Messiah, the Romans wouldn't be able to hang him. So that became a stumbling block to them. Like them wicked scribes and Pharisees, he said, yeah, see, we knew he wasn't the Messiah. Because ain't no Romans going to just grab him. Back then, we didn't call them devils. Paul said that was the iniquity, or the mystery of iniquity, which already worketh. Two more, and we're going to be out of here. 1 Corinthians 8, verse 9. But take heed lest by any means, this liberty of yours become a stumbling block to them that are weak. Now that says a whole lot. But take heed lest by any means this liberty of yours, because guess what? The men of Great Millstone, they have great liberty to do what they want as long as they teach in the scriptures. Now, if they go off, it's going to catch up with you. It's going to catch up with you. Become a stumbling block to them that are weak. Now, what does that mean? You're saying, well, I don't believe that. You see, they say, you can, this guy's a GMS leader, right? And he's secretly teaching his men that the great doctrine that the leadership are going off, and then one of his guys get get a backbone in him and tell somebody, and that comes up to us, and we're gonna put this guy on trial. It says Revelation 2, verses 14. I'm gonna close on this, but I have a few things. Oh, this is another topic, Revelation, and I believe I did this. Got to do it again. Revelation 2 and Revelation 3. The churches of Asia Minor. But I have a few things against thee, because thou hast dared them that hold the doctrine of Balaam, who taught Balak to cast a stumbling block before the children of Yasha'Allah, to eat things sacrificed unto idols, and to commit fornication. So you have a lot of these churches going off. That's why we get on them. IUIC, they go off on a lot of things. Oh, this is why Bishop set up bishop. If you come into leadership, he's gonna say, okay, you're a bishop and you're a deacon. You know why he does that? Because the deacon and the bishop can only have one wife. So he pulled a fast one on you guys. You should say, nah, I don't want to be a deacon. I don't feel worthy enough in my spirit. So then you can have more than one woman. So he's slick. That's slick. That's a slick Rick of Israel. Anyway, with that, I'm going to say shalom. On to the next one. Shalom.